Hello everyone, this is R.S. Miller at the endtimenews.org and today is September 2nd, 2013. This is your Fast Track Report. The nuclear-powered aircraft carrier USS Nimitz, along with 4 destroyers and a cruiser, have been ordered to move west in the Arabian Sea towards the Red Sea so that it can help support a U.S. strike on Syria if requested, a U.S. official told Reuters. U.S. defense officials said they were moved in to help support a limited U.S. strike on Syria if needed. According to Debkafal, when the U.S. strike was still on track, the flotilla assigned with the missile attack did not include aircraft carriers, only 5 destroyers and 4 submarines. Obama decided to reassign the Nimitz to fend off the charges of hesitancy and abandoning allies leveled against him and show strong support for Jordan and Israel. The Nimitz carrier group was supporting the U.S. war in Afghanistan and was due to return to its home port in Everett, Washington, after being released from duty by the USS Harry S. Truman Strike Group. Considering the volatile situation and a looming decision on a Syria strike, U.S. military officials have decided to send the Nimitz towards the Red Sea and possibly the Mediterranean, the source said. Another U.S. official told Reuters that so far there was not a final decision to reposition the carrier group to the Mediterranean, and that the Navy is trying to reduce the physics of time and space to be ready for a possible call to arms. Over the weekend, a U.S. amphibious transport ship, USS San Antonio, was also deployed to the Mediterranean. Although it has received no specific tasking, it was en route to a U.S. naval base on the Greek island of Crete. The U.S. Navy already had 5 destroyers in the eastern Mediterranean carrying an estimated load of 200 Tomahawk missiles. The naval presence was boosted over the past week in anticipation of an imminent U.S. attack. In the coming week, while U.S. lawmakers will be discussing the prospects of a limited military strike requested by the Commander-in-Chief, military officials are expected to use the delay in military action to decide on the location of other U.S. ships in the region. U.S. President has already decided a limited military strike is necessary to teach Syria a lesson and prevent possible further use of chemical weapons against the Syrian population and U.S. allies in the region. A formal request seeking authorization from legislators to launch a military campaign was filed on Saturday, and the Senate is expected to vote on the motion no later than the week of September 9th. However, Republican Senators John McCain and Lindsey Graham said in a statement on Saturday, "We cannot in good conscience support isolated military strikes in Syria that are not part of an overall strategy that can change the momentum on the battlefield, achieve the president's stated goal of Assad's removal from power, and bring an end to this conflict, which is a growing threat to our national security interest." Meanwhile, the Iranian parliament delegation visiting Damascus on Sunday, September 1st, advised Bashar al-Assad to move his chemical stockpiles out of Syria and deposit them in Tehran under Iranian and Russian military supervision to save himself from an American military strike, according to Debkafal. Chairman of the Foreign Affairs Committee, who headed the delegation, explained that Presidents Hassan Rouhani and Vladimir Putin had discussed the stockpile removal ad hoc as the basis of an Iranian-Russian plan for presenting to U.S. President Barack Obama at the G20 summit meeting in St. Petersburg later this week. After the Americans accept the plan and the crisis blows over, the stockpile could be quietly returned to Syria, the Iranian lawmaker explained. Another option was for Iranian and Russian teams to destroy the stockpile in return for U.S. Arab League guarantees that the Syrian rebels would not use this process for strategic war gains. The chemical agents would be destroyed in stages in accordance with rebel compliance with such guarantees. Friends, I want you to be aware that a world war is on the horizon. The events currently taking place in the Middle East may or may not be that dreaded war, but make no mistake about it. Bible prophecy will be fulfilled, and it will be fulfilled not too far down the road. In Luke chapter 21, verse 25, "And there will be signs in the sun, in the moon, and in the stars, and on the earth distress of nations with perplexity, the sea and the waves roaring, men's hearts failing them for fear and the expectation of those things which are coming on the earth. For the powers of heaven will be shaken. Then they will see the Son of Man coming in a cloud with power and great glory. Now when these things begin to happen, look up and lift up your heads, because your redemption draws near." Well, these things have begun to happen, so our redemption is drawing near. But just how near is it? In verse 32, Jesus states, "Assuredly I say to you, this generation will by no means pass away till all these things are fulfilled." Then he goes on to give us a command. In verse 36, "Watch therefore, and pray always, that you may be counted worthy to escape all these things that will come to pass, and to stand before the Son of Man." But unfortunately, far too many people are not watching or praying, and many simply do not believe, and there will be consequences for it. In 1 Thessalonians chapter 5, verse 3, "For when they say peace and safety, then sudden destruction comes upon them as labor pains upon a pregnant woman, and they shall not escape." But it doesn't have to end this way. Revelation 3:20 states, Jesus said, "Behold, I stand at the door and knock. If anyone hears my voice and opens the door, I will come in to him and dine with him, and he with me." Are you saved? Follow the link in the box below and pray the prayer of salvation with a sincere heart, and you will be saved. May God bless you.